Hello, you're kicking off the 5 days edition of QPVN English News Bulletin. You're with Milling Chi and again headlines. Profiling Vietnam's military art in New Era. Resolute action taken to put natural disasters under control. International friends assist Vietnam in overcoming typhoon consequences. On September the 12th, Party General Secretary and President Tô Lâm, Commander-in-Chief of the People's Armed Forces and Chairman of the National Defense Security Council, addressed the opening ceremony of the 2024-2025 academic year at the National Defense Academy. General Phan Văn Giang, Minister of National Defense, other senior military leaders and leaders from central militaries and agencies attended the event. Over its 47 years of development, the National Defense Academy has made significant contributions to the cause of national construction and defense, solidifying its role as the leading center for education, training, scientific research, and international cooperation for the military and the country. The Academy had trained tens of thousands of senior military officers, provided defense and security training to over 6,000 senior officers from central departments, militaries, and localities, and trained thousands of military science masters and doctoral candidates. Additionally, the Academy has provided advanced training for over 800 senior military officers from several countries and organized international defense officer training courses for students from 34 nations. Achievements in national defense are significantly attributed to the National Defense Academy, a trusted premier institution for the party and the state in training strategic level officers. Over the years, the Academy has consistently implemented the party's directive, the Central Military Commission's resolutions, and the Ministry of National Defense policies effectively. It has successfully fulfilled its strategic advisory role in defense and security and in building the armed forces. Facing the mission of safeguarding the country and building a streamlined, strong, and modern military by 2030, the General Secretary and President directed the National Defense Academy to fully implement the party's policies on education and training reform. These reforms should align with national defense needs, improving the quality of the party, state, and armed forces leadership. The Academy must lead in executing the party's directives on reforming education, military, defense, and security. He also reaffirmed the party and state's commitment to providing strong leadership and support, enabling the National Defense Academy to enhance its training, research, and defense security expertise for senior cadres, and continuing investment to elevate the Academy to modern defense science center on par with regional and global institutions. Under the theme of promoting peace for a shared future, on September 13th, the 11th Beijing Xiangshan Forum officially commenced at the capital city of Beijing, China. General Phan Văn Giang, Minister of National Defense of Vietnam, led the high-ranking delegation from the Ministry of National Defense of Vietnam to attend the forum. He delivered a keynote address during the first plenary session. In his opening remarks, Senior Lieutenant General Dong Jun, China's Minister of National Defense, emphasized that the theme of the 11th Xiangshan Forum reflects China's determination to work with other nations in seeking solutions for peace and development, contributing to building a peaceful world. He stated that all countries share the responsibility of ensuring security, and major powers must collaborate with others to address both regional and global issues. Conflicts, he noted, should be resolved through dialogue, consensus building, and a commitment to peace and stability. He called for enhanced accountabilities in the pursuit of peace. The forum brought together numerous military leaders, experts, and scholars from many countries and international organizations. This year's forum features 4 plenary sessions on topics including security cooperation and Asia-Pacific prosperity and stability, multipolarity and evolving international order, global south and world peaceful development, and international mechanisms and global security governance. Additionally, 8 simultaneous special sessions are being held. On September the 12th, Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, Deputy Defense Minister, Deputy Head of the Hanoi Defensive Area Exercise Steering Committee, chaired a conference in build-up to the event. To date, on preparation work for the exercise has been basically completed. Despite the context, the Hanoi is making efforts to overcome the consequences of Typhoon Jaggi. Scenarios and framework of the exercise are ensured in both quantity and quality, where technical and logistic plans are fully prepared. Participating units have got everything set in terms of drill grounds and dry training, ensuring safety and smooth communication. Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Tân Cương requested all relevant units to focus on training, direct the effective deployment of civil defensive areas. Coming up next, RESOLUTE acts taken to put natural disaster under control. International friends assist Vietnam in overcoming typhoon consequences. On September the 12th, Party General Secretary and President Tô Lâm visited Tuyên Quang Province to inspect the ongoing efforts to prevent and mitigate the damage caused by floods and Typhoon Jaggi. Accompanying him were Chairman of the Central Committee of the Vietnam Fatherland Front Đỗ Văn Chiến, Deputy Prime Minister Lê Thành Long, and Senior Lieutenant General Lê Huy Vịnh, Deputy Defense Minister. As a result of the impact from Typhoon Jaggi, from September the 6th to the 11th, Tuyên Quang Province experienced heavy rainfall. The water levels in the Lo, Gum, and Nang rivers rose significantly, and the Tuyên Quang hydropower reservoir had to open its bottom floodgates on September the 9th and the 10th, resulting in large-scale flooding in downstream rivers and streams. This caused damage to residential areas, property, and infrastructure. General Secretary and President Tô Lâm visited and encouraged the forces working to repair leaks and reinforce the vulnerable dike in Trường Sinh Cam Sơn Dương district. Currently, hundreds of military, police officers, and local forces are working to resolve the issue and ensure safety in the area. 2 days ago, a 10-meter section of the dike in Quyết Thắng Cam was breached. Thanks to early detection of the leakage, local authorities were able to evacuate residents promptly, preventing any loss of life. The dike repairs have been carried out swiftly, and the situation has been largely stabilized. The General Secretary and President commended the efforts of the forces on site over the past few days. He instructed local authorities and relevant forces to continue inspecting all critical points throughout the province and prepare proactive measures. In areas at risk of breaching or landslides, early evacuation is crucial to ensure people's safety. He stressed the importance of maintaining vigilance as the weather forecasts indicate that the flooding situation may continue to develop unpredictably. You shall continue assisting those still facing difficulties. The first priority is to support and rescue the people, ensuring no harm comes to them. The second step is to continue supporting their livelihood recovery. You will still need to focus on this critical work for some time. For areas still underwater, the party and state leader urged local authorities to prioritize rescuing people, swiftly deploying comprehensive solutions ranging from prevention to rescue and relief efforts. In the spirit of actions without regrets, in recent days, the party, state, and government have taken resolute acts. General Secretary and President Tô Lâm, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, along with other party and state leaders and leaders of the Ministry of National Defense, the General Staff, and the General Political Department, have conducted field trips to inspect and direct the post-typhoon consequences relief, just mobilizing the synergistic strengths in assistance to the natural disaster hit victims. On the morning of September 12th, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính inspected the landslide-hit areas in Yên Bái Province. During the mission was Senior Lieutenant General Võ Minh Lương, Deputy Defense Minister. The government leader urged the province to quickly put the situation under control. First of all, it was needed to bring evacuated families back to their residential areas safely and arrange resettlement areas for households whose houses were collapsed or are located in unsafe areas. He led the emphasis on the handling of the emergency situation at Thác Bà Reservoir, located in Lục Yên and Yên Bình districts, that is one of the 3 largest man-made reservoirs in Vietnam. I highly appreciate your sense of readiness and responsibility. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, and the on-site forces, especially the military and public security forces. Fortunately, we didn't need to destroy the dam, which could be the worst scenario. The government top leader and the mission also inspected the search and rescue work, inquired after flooding affected victims and officers and soldiers performing search and rescue mission in Lào Cai province. Then he showed up at Làng Nù village in Phúc Khánh Kamin, Bắc Yên district to inspect the situation. Listening to the locals' thoughts, the Prime Minister was overwhelmed by their sufferings. He asked the resettlement of local people to be completed before December the 31st, 2024. Permanent Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Hòa Bình inspected the damages caused by the natural disaster and directed the flood response in Hà Nam and Hưng Yên. He highly appreciated the military and public security officers and soldiers who haven't hesitated to face difficulties and dangers, wading through the floodwaters to support people in evacuating and transporting food and necessities in supply for the flood-hit victims. On behalf of the government, he presented 20 tons of rice in assistance to needy people who were forced to evacuate from flooded areas. On the afternoon of September the 12th, Deputy Prime Minister Trần Hồng Hà led a mission to inspect Mỹ Tân Kamin, Nam Định City, inspected the sites where the functional forces and people were reinforcing the dike along the Red River. He emphasized that the flood water level could decrease, but at a slow pace. Therefore, the top priority now is protecting the dike and the safety of the people's lives and properties. On September 12th, Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, Chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, inspected the post-typhoon consequences relief work and inquired of the people in Hà Giang Province. In Quảng Bình District, Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết inspected the situation in Dong Tam Hamlet, Ninh Thành Kamin, which was heavily damaged by Super Typhoon Jaggi. General Quyết also handed over presence of the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense and inquired after the locals. He also commanded the armed forces for actively coordinating with functional forces and local authorities of Quảng Bình and Bắc Quang districts to promptly support people in overcoming the consequences of floods. Working with Hà Giang Project Committee, General Quyết asked the local authorities to prepare plans for post-typhoon epidemic prevention and control and mobilize people to help each other quickly stabilize their lives, focusing on restoring production. In recent days, international friends shared and supported Vietnam in overcoming Typhoon Jaggi's aftermath. On September the 11th, a consignment of Australian emergency relief supplies following Super Typhoon Jaggi landed in Nội Bài International Airport and was transported directly to In Bai province. More than 8 tons of supply worth nearly 49,000 Australian dollars include 264 personal hygiene kits, 120 kitchen sets, 600 blankets, 264 house repair kits, 600 sleeping mats, 522 tarpaulins, and 360 mosquito nets. The U.S. mission to Vietnam through the U.S. Agency for International Development is providing $1 million in immediate humanitarian aid to support Vietnam's efforts to respond to the devastating impacts of Typhoon Jaggi. The assistance will be allocated to provide shelter, clean water, and hygiene assistance, as well as non-food items in support of government of Vietnam-led disaster assistance efforts. The Communist Party of Cuba's online newspaper Prensa Latina recently published Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel's condolences to the Communist Party of Vietnam, the government, and the people of Vietnam for huge damage caused by Typhoon Jaggi. The Cuban leader affirmed that Cuba stands side by side with Vietnam, especially in this difficult time. In his message to Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio emphasized that the Japanese government stands side by side with Vietnam and is ready to support the country in overcoming difficulties and restoring normal living conditions as soon as possible. In recent days, media and social networks of many countries around the world posted news related to Typhoon Jaggi and its impact to Vietnamese people. International friends are truly impressed and admire the solidarity and humanity of Vietnamese people to stand together in the storm. To join hands with the Vietnamese government in supporting localities which are most affected by Super Typhoon Jaggi, on September the 12th, the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, or UNICEF in short, has urgently dispatched 80,000 water purification tablets for the Center of Disease Control in Thái Nguyên Province and 4,000 liters of water to Lao Cai Provincial Hospital to ensure drinking water supply for 800 people. In the coming days, UNICEF will deliver water purification tablets, water tanks, ceramic filters, hand sanitizers, and soap to local authorities to be distributed to households, schools, and healthcare facilities in Yên Bai and Lao Cai provinces. The funds will also provide water treatment, sanitation, and emergency medical supplies to the localities while providing temporary learning spaces and educational materials and extending psychosocial support to children affected by the disaster. UNICEF is mobilizing resources to ensure timely emergency aid. It is the end of the English news bulletin today. You can watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Goodbye and see you next time.